Alright guys, so quick review of integers. So they are your positive and negative whole numbers. I'm going to highlight the word whole right there. Alright, so look at these 5 examples. Take a second, maybe pause the screen if you want to, and try to answer number 1 through 5. Just say yes or no if it's an integer or not. Okay, so remember what I just said. So integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So technically 0 is a whole number, so yes, we would say that's an integer. Number 2, negative 17. Yes, that's a negative whole number. All right, look at number 3. So this fraction bar right there tells you to divide. So when you divide 25 by 5, you're going to get 5. We'll keep the negative sign, negative 5. And yes, that's a negative whole number. So it is an integer. Number 4, so 8.3, and then this bar over the 3 means the 3 continues on forever and ever. That would not be an integer. It's not a whole number. And number 5, 9.1, 9 and 1/10. No, it's not a whole number. Alright, so in this example, we're going to place the following numbers below on the number line. So we have negative 3, negative 1, 0, and 4. Alright, so numbers to the left of 0, these are your negative numbers. To the right, those are the positive numbers. So this would be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So put the dot above negative 3, negative 1, 0, and 4. Alright, so we're going to make a quick T-chart here of keywords to look for positive and negative integers. So positive, you might see the word, here's a hint, you will see the word positive or deposit on quizzes and tests coming up. I remember deposit is positive because if you look, this part right here almost looks like positive. You might see something like the temperature rose so many degrees, or somebody gained something, increased. Those are all keywords you want to look for. I'd recommend highlighting them. Alright, so negative, you might see instead of deposit, withdraw. It's like if you go to the ATM and take money out, you are withdrawing that money. You might see fell, like the temperature fell so many degrees, loss, or decrease. Right, so absolute value, that's your distance from 0 on the number line. Let's underline this right here. Always positive. There's only one example I'll share with you in a minute where you might end up with a negative answer. Because absolute value is a measure of distance, it will always be positive. It's like if you walk backward, even though you're going backward, you're still going positive distance. Alright, so up here we have a number line. So what if I asked you, what is the distance from negative 3 to 0? So if you look, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. Therefore, we can say the absolute value, notice these little bars here right there mean absolute value. The absolute value of negative 3 is equal to 3. You are 3 units away from 0. Look at numbers 1 through 5. and try to answer them. You might want to pause your screen. Alright, number 1, absolute value of negative 7 is 7, because you're 7 units from 0. Number 2 is one of the exceptions I was talking about. Notice how you have this negative sign here out front. So we'll solve it one step at a time. So the absolute value of negative 7 is 7, but then you have to bring down this negative sign. It's almost like you have a negative 1 out here that you're multiplying through. So that's a negative 7. Number 3, we have the negative sign in front again, negative 4. Number 4, take the absolute value. I like to rewrite down below 5 plus absolute value of negative 3 is 3. You get 8. And finally, number 5, 8 plus 7 is 15. So that's absolute value of 15, which is 15.